So today, I want to share what I learned in a 12-step meeting, and there's so many kinds of 12-step meetings. You can go to many, not just for drugs and alcohol. There's for codependency, there's for eating, there's for if you feel if you have dysfunction in your sex, like love, like romance, like ideas about yourself, about the world, if you want to heal in those ways. So I was thinking about like the instant gratification that's common to all of these, the 12-step program that helps people heal the brain damage around that. And for myself, and this is like the sense of healing avoidance and the intimacy I had. Like, let's say someone is a celibate. They're not quite facing their issues and becoming healthy. They're just avoiding it. So I had I'm thinking for myself, the abstinence period in the name of trying to heal, but not actually facing it was an issue for me, where I dissociated in a lot of ways as a way of being. But healing from that meant that I also had to face that I lost a lot: friendships, family, groups, work, job. It felt like for the last 10 years, when I think back 10 years ago, I was with a man who I feel pressured me to be with him. And it was not somebody who I would have wanted to have gotten married, I guess, to have had sex. And so it was like giving the virginity and then dating someone I didn't want to be with, who encouraged me to take substances and medication with him. And then the behavior out of that became out of control, promiscuous. He abandoned me to go live in Chicago, became involved with a non-Jewish woman. And that a lot of body damage came after that, so the brain damage, the body damage, and healing the memories of being used, violated. And it took such a toll to avoid all of that, because I didn't want to talk about it, because I felt shame about it, because I thought there was something wrong with me, because those mistakes felt irreparable. But actually, I kept filling in those gaps, with a man. The man isn't supposed to replace all those things, the connections. I wanted a connection so badly that I felt I didn't grow up with that connection. And I found that connection, I had to sell myself for the man. When I say sell myself, I mean I had to give more than I wanted. And when I heal the fear of the uncertainty that gets triggered, I can't let fully go if I'm in a relationship, because the person could die or cheat or leave me. But it just means I have to have my own life, a full life, a happy, satisfying life. And sometimes the amends is just letting go and not pursuing someone who I tried to force to comply with my needs. I had to go no contact with this man named Arron. I used to call him Aaron, who I was so angry at, and I kept taking everything personally, and I even wished death on him when I felt he was being cruel. And it was all this projection and catharsis and bad things I wanted on him. I wanted him to be punished, and I wanted to retaliate against him. And it was all because I didn't want to and I wouldn't go to him. It was not going to that which I'm allergic to or hurts me. And it was not necessarily him. It was accepting that all the people who hurt me, those men, were not coming to fix it, and that it's up to me to heal and grow and learn my lessons, and not try to make someone be someone else or change against their will. And despite all that I put him through, he's still here. Arron is still in my life, and I feel he's willing to let me move on if I want to be with somebody else. And it's just a lot to process from all the years of pushing it down. And it all came out against him in many ways. He was the one who had the key or something, the missing piece of the puzzle. And I really hated him for that. I hated him maybe also that I didn't feel he was grateful for all the sacrifices I'd made to become a single person, instead of keep trying to fill in the blanks, with a man. Also, not trying to make someone who doesn't love me. I felt maybe I was trying to make him love me, but he might be different than me. His love might be slower. It is. And he might have different ways that he expresses love. And when he feels touched, maybe physically, I want to be touched inside, emotionally. We had to negotiate all that. We didn't know how to communicate necessarily. And I had a lot of anger displacement, as I think he calls it, or anger transference. Not he, someone else calls it. And it's not just about carrying the weight of attachment needs and expectations from one previous man to another man without grieving or getting over him before the new relationship, but it's actually about building securely up with mutual trust and respect and intimacy in a natural way, a foundation that reflects the reality of the forming relationship. So there's not that third person invisible in the bond. And it happens to be that there was somebody who I felt wanted me and I wanted him, and then he just dropped off, and at some point he was jealous because he saw me talking to other men, and the light went out of his eyes at me, and he didn't think I was good anymore, and he went back, I think, to someone in the past who wasn't Jewish. And it was that trigger for me. It was so much grief, and I needed to smoke weed sometimes just to heal from that. And it really brought me down, I feel, a few levels. I even tried to smoke a cigarette, but it was disgusting. I didn't like it. And then suddenly I met Aaron, and I even tried to make the guy jealous for a moment with Aaron. But didn't intend to. It happened to be I was walking with Aaron, we passed that corner, and the guy was there, and I was able to make it that Aaron and I just And I feel like I haven't seen the Arron that I wanted to be with since that night when I tried to make that person jealous. Like, that went into like a weird portal. And then it was like I had to let go of that demon and say, it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the guy who didn't want to be with me because of his insecurity. I sent back that demon to him, and suddenly now I'm back to that night where I was like I'm resolving it, where I'm able to see that I don't have to project from another person onto Arron. The fact that Arron could tolerate that and he was strong enough, is beautiful. And I feel like he deserves my love, my patience, the way he had for me. It's been about 8 months. And I did everything I could not to fall in love with him. I did everything I could not to be vulnerable with him. So now we're going to do affirmations. And I want to say some that Arron actually told me. He said, I'm concerning, caring, nurturing, available, real, authentic, romantic, pure, gracious, spacious, inviting, chassidish, attentive. And he gave me other lists also, and I threw them in the garbage. I should have written it down. He said, I'm not the same person I was 4 months ago. This was at some time. That my time is priceless. And there's a woman, Miriam, adahan. Her book is called Awareness. She says, every person has a dark side. It's only by acknowledging my negative traits that I can overcome them. I'm not evil. I simply need to learn how to give or receive love. My essence is holy. I'll discover the God within me through small acts of love and self-discipline. Self-hatred only intensifies my pain and retards growth. To accept God's will includes accepting how he made me. If I accept myself as I am at this moment with all my imperfections, I'll become more self-disciplined. I'll make healthier choices. I'll grow. If I cannot get what I want with love, then it means God doesn't want me to have it right now. I surrender to his will. I make his will my will. I nullify my will before his will. And that we have from Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, chapter 2, verse 4. And then I have some affirmations of my own. Not everything I see and hear is factual reality, for example, on the internet. I am motivated, healthy, pleasing, and meaningful, and a lot of people are looking out for me. I have the right to live as the real me. I am loyal, consistent, and disciplined. I earned my portion through contentment and endurance, and I've borne my peace by forgiving my own way. By forging my own way. I am learning the skills of connection and closeness. Everything adds up eventually. I can be cold and distant when I need to. I am a fearless leader, and it's normal to need daily touch and affection. I'm a glowing, unfolding spiritual being in God's hand, and I do not outsource my authority. I am fertile. I am abundant. It is my duty to please myself, and I'm often the most powerful person in the room. I release the filth of the world. My silence speaks louder than my justifications and explanations. I have nothing to be ashamed of. I do what matters. I say what matters. What I do matters. What I say matters. I mind my own business, and I stay in my own lane. I keep my flame alight. I deserve positive feedback from myself. I am worthy of respect and deserving of loyalty. I'm not ashamed of my desires. I'm willing to keep myself good company. I deserve positive feedback from others. My opinions and ideas can evolve, and external validation and reflection cannot replace self-confidence and self-respect. And we'll stop here. We finished book number 16, and we are up to book number 17, which I'm currently in the middle of writing in. So we're making closer and closer progress to connect to the presence, and then I'll be able to transmit teachings on the day of, rather than what I've accumulated, God willing. All the best. Bye. Shavua Tov. May we be blessed with belonging and love and feeling our loved ones close to us, with flow and productivity, and feeling confident and sure of ourselves and comfortable in our bodies. Amen. Bye-bye.